Hey family, it is none other than your favorite Auntie Jai. That's right, your favorite teacher, natural vegan chef, author, artist, etc., etc. And welcome back to yet another episode of Discussions and Desserts, the only pro-black, revolutionary, vegan cooking show I know. Alright, so let's jump right into it. This week's question is, what do the people you look up to do for the or a black community? Again, what do the people that you look up to do for the or a black community? If your answer is nothing long-term or tangible that really affects a whole chunk of the community, then maybe you need to adjust who your idols are and who you look up to. And if you have a hard time finding somebody near or around you, maybe you need to become that person. Now remember to always email me, DM me, comment, or message me your answers to the questions of the week. I want to hear your answers. I want to know your guys' thoughts and things of that nature. Alright, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this channel and to watch and like all of my videos and to comment as well. If you like the content, share the content. To me, that's the most important thing, making sure as many black people as possible hear what it is that I'm trying to share with us. And also make sure you follow my business Instagram. That's at yourfavorite.auntiejais for more vegan inspiration, as well as to keep up with my actual business. And also follow my personal Instagram at Jylin1 to keep up with me, the work I do in the hoods near you, my travels, and just all things like Blackity Black and J.I. As you know, it takes a lot of time, effort, energy, and coins to bring you guys this content for free, and I do not monetize my videos, so trust I appreciate all of the support and help I can get, and that includes you guys just sharing my videos. That's a major thing to me. But if you would like to help financially, I'll make sure that you have access to my Cash App information, my Venmo, and my PayPal as well, and they'll also be in the description box. Alright, this week's recipe is a sweet almond cupcake, a sweet strawberry almond cupcake with a strawberry coconut cream icing. Y'all ain't ready. Oh, y'all ain't ready. Alright, so let's get into our ingredients. You'll need 1 3/4 cup of flour. I use organic unbleached whole wheat pastry flour. You're going to want 1 cup of coconut sugar. If you must use sugar, like actual sugar, I say go coconut. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, preferably pink Himalayan. I'm out of pink Himalayan, so I'll be using natural sea salt. You want 1 cup of oat milk. You'll want 2 teaspoons of sweet almond extract. Mine is organic, of course. You'll want a couple of drops of vanilla extract as well for the icing. And if you have vanilla bean, put it on the scene. You know what I mean, it's vanilla bean. I'm out of vanilla bean, so vanilla bean will not be in my recipe, but if you can do it from home, I definitely implore you to put some vanilla bean in these cupcakes. Okay? What else? We've got about 1/3 cup of some vegan butter here. You guys know the Miyokos is my favorite, but feel free to substitute it with extra virgin olive oil or raw coconut oil as well if you would like to. And then we'll need 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and you can use white vinegar if you'd like as well. We'll also need 2 to 3 cans of coconut cream if you're going to make the entire batch of cupcakes that this batter prepares. I will not be, but I will be using the cream that I have left because I made some cupcakes yesterday. I had to get into that cream. Alright, we're going to need a little bit of agave. We're going to need some fresh organic strawberries, which I have here. I cannot wait till the strawberries come in my garden. And then also I went out into the garden and grabbed some fresh peppermint. Just look at my peppermint. It smells so lovely. Peppermint is my favorite herb right now until my sweet basil comes all the way into season. Speaking of herbs, this week's tea is actually a home brew. Yeah, so Lovely. Okay, what's in my cup? I have some marijuana leaves, both male and female marijuana leaves from my garden. Not the bud, just the leaves. I also have some sage from my garden and some of the beautiful purple flowers from it. A little bit of sweet basil, some lavender, some peppermint, a little chamomile, and lemongrass, all from my garden. That is what's in my cup today. Go ahead and hate on it. And then once you're done hating on it, get like me and grow the shit yourself so that you can be on it too. Hey family, so I know this video is a little lengthy, so if you want to fast forward straight to the lecture, go straight to the 17-minute and 20-second mark. Alright, so first things first, those of you guys who are familiar with baking, you know that we're going to actually do the dry ingredients separate from the wet and then combine the two. So I'm going to take my 1 3/4 cups of flour. I'm going to take my coconut sugar. And then I'm going to take my teaspoon of baking soda. I have a 1/2 teaspoon measurement here, so I'm just going to, you know, do some basic math and put in 2 of these. And then, prepping for the blender, we're going to add our oat milk. You see I'm throwing a couple of strawberries into this milk. That's crucial because it's going to help with the strawberry flavor. Let's see what else. In the dry ingredients, we're going to add that teaspoon, or that 1/2 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt. This is actually a 1/4 teaspoon, so I'm actually going to put 2 more of these of the baking soda into here. And then I'm going to put 2 of these. In here. Let's see. Sorry, the sweet almond extract. It's supposed to be 2 teaspoons. I'm trying to do measurements for you guys. Y'all know I'm not a measurement kind of person, but I'm trying to give y'all these measurements. So that means 8/4. I'm gonna put 1. I'm gonna just have to eyeball this shit because I'm over here making a mess trying to measure out this stuff. But if you have actual like appropriate measuring utensils, it's supposed to be about 2 teaspoons. But let your gut and your ancestors guide you, okay? What else? Okay, we're gonna take our softened butter here, and we're gonna throw this in here as well. And then we're also going to add that tablespoon of apple cider or white vinegar. I'm using the organic Bragg's, you know, the traditional go-to vegan apple cider. Okie doke. I'm going to let this blend for until it's well blended, and then we'll move from there. Okay, now that we're back, I'm going to mixing up my dry ingredients well. I'm using my whisk to make sure I get out any clumps that may be in my flour. Really mixing in that salt, that baking powder or baking soda, and this coconut sugar so it can be nice and evenly dispersed. So now I'm going to take my wet ingredients and I'm going to pour them right on into my dry ingredients. And I'm going to whip it like it's jiffy. All this money, gotta get it. Whip it up, whip it up. This is a good time to tell you guys, preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Make sure you have your cupcake or little muffin pan prepped and ready. I have mine here with the holders, the cupcake thingy holder thingies already in there. Good thing about this batter is it's nice and vegan, so you can taste it right off the bat. Let's taste our batter. I'm so excited for these cupcakes. So excited, boy, I can't wait. I can eat this batter all day. So excited for these cupcakes. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Cupcake batter, consider it ready. In fact, since our cupcake batter is ready, we're gonna go ahead and pop these in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes until they're done in the middle. And while we got that going in the oven, I'm gonna show you guys how to make my original signature coconut cream frosting. I'm going to use my bamboo little ladle here. Oh, and also, little secret guys, this does double as a delicious pancake batter, just so you know. Alright, so we've got our cupcakes pretty much prepped here. And I'm going to throw them in this oven at 350 degrees. Next things next, we're going to take our coconut cream here. And I'm just scooping it in. Alright, so I've got my coconut cream in there like swimwear. And you do want it to be a little stiff, but not too stiff, you know, so maybe pull it out the refrigerator when you first start prepping in the kitchen. So I kind of mashed up my cream some here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with this agave and I'm going to eyeball it. Because you don't need much. Agave, it really is something else. You do not need much. Then I'm going to grab my vanilla extract here. Okay, eyeball it. Don't need much. It especially depends on the amount of coconut cream you have in here. I don't have much coconut cream in here, so I don't need much. So I'm really just mixing around this coconut cream. And then my lovely peppermint, I'm just going to rip it into tiny little pieces. You can mince it with a knife if you want, or blend it or whatever. I don't mind. I like to use my hands when I cook. That's very African of me to, you know, because hands, that's energy right there. You know, it's all a part of the program. It's all connected, and I like to connect with my food. I'm going to take some strawberries here, and I'm going to just slice them up tiny. And just get those tiny pieces into my cream. I don't really want to use the blender for this. I know that is the option. I just don't want to. Ooh, I got a good batch of organic strawberries. They're all relatively small, so you know that they're more natural. because these big ass strawberries are not real. Strawberries are berries. They're little bitty things. I know, I grow them. And they're so red and dark and juicy. These are just really good strawberries, perfect for what we're doing here. So I'm putting just about, with the amount of cream I have, I'm just putting about 2 strawberries. I'm just mixing this up. Mixing this up. Now that I've got the cream softened some, get this out of here. And then, you guys, why am I so good at this? I know I'm a mess. I'm done. That's really done. I'm just gonna add actually a dash more agave, and literally like 3 drops, and a teeny dash more of the vanilla. Grab my wooden spoon, and now that it's like more softened up and more creamy, I'm gonna give it a last little mix here. This is that girl. It tastes like a really good whipped cream, to be honest. And I'm actually just going to jar this, set it aside in the fridge to keep it, you know, more, yeah, basically to keep it from melting. We'll refrigerate this. Alright, enough playing around while our cupcakes are in the oven and our cream, our strawberry mint vanilla whipped cream frosting is waiting for us in the fridge. My tea is at about sipping temperature, piping hot like I like it. So let's get into today's discussion and our issue, okay? So you guys know how we do. We identify the issue, we discuss the issue, and then we bring solutions to the issues. And y'all know how I feel. Solutions is my favorite part. Solutions is my favorite part. Go on with it now. Solutions is, okay, we'll get to the solutions part at that time though. Alright, identifying the issue. We have whole hoods of untapped potential that too many of us are in our black excellence, new bougie bougetto culture, and are too ready to dismiss and disregard as invaluable. So I want to start by making it known that this episode was inspired by the life of the young visionary Nipsey Hussle. The marathon continues. I know there's a lot of focus right now on his death, but I want to use this time in this episode to see what we can learn from his life. Okay, disclaimer, this is not a I'm on Nipsey Hussle's dick ride video. There's a lot that he got wrong, and I am positive that if I ever got to meet with him and sit down and have a serious discussion and conversation with him, that he definitely could have been a lot greater than what he's known to be today, and you know, we could have probably saved a lot more black lives as well. Though I do think he was on the right track and was headed in the right direction. Now with that being said, I want to throw some respect on his name. I was born on East Side Long Beach and raised between Nutty Block and Santana Block, Compton Crib. My uncle, who was actually a ghost town blood from wee months, moved to 60s when I was a teenager. And so more recently as well, I spent a lot of time like in the South Central LA area, Inglewood, South Central, Lamar Park region, etc. I'm there actually more than I'm back in Compton, to be honest, but I spent a lot of my time in that area just to let you guys know a little more about myself and my background, but also to let you guys know, give you some context to the fact that I for surely know a lot of SoCal, LA County hood niggas. I do. And many of these hood niggas I've come across have regarded Nipsey Hussle as an inspiration, and they have really, like, you know, really inspirational and heartwarming things to say about him.
If it wasn't for Nipsey, we wouldn't have nothing around here. For real, all we need is black people that really stick together and make things happen out here in the community. We don't got too many people that want to donate to the community when they get famous. They just think about themselves. Nip and Boss Hog really for the hood and for the family. You feel what I'm saying? I really love them. They my role models. For real.
Right there.
You know, pretty much most of LA County supports and fucks with Nipsey Hussle and his ventures, regardless of what set you bang, etc.
Man, look at that. All the gangs, well, most of the gangs from LA walking over to Nip's spot right now. All praise due to Allah. Wow.
From his TMC clothing line and the stores he opened up and all the people he put on with jobs and shit like that, to him reopening World on Wheels, which is the LA skating rink that I grew up going to as a kid that ended up getting shut down. He reopened it. Me, as well as many other people I know, went back going to it just for the sake of supporting, even though I got these long legs and that rink is just like so small. And I always said when I went skating there these past few times, like, if I ever met Nipsey Hussle, I would ask him to expand the damn skating rink floor, because my right knee can't take it. Okay, but anyways, that's enough of that. But Nipsey and his crews are known Crips, but they transcended gangs, because just like the brothers of Trap Kitchen LA, they had no problem with working with other people from different gangs and stuff. One thing I wanted to note was that Nipsey's one of his dopest bangers, I happen to be a big fan. You know, she a vegan, but she's still hey, don't knock me, alright? You know, he putting on for my city too, but one of his more recent, like, on point bangers is one that he did with YG. Nipsey Hussle, a known Crip, getting with YG, a known blood, to produce good music that's, you know, banging all throughout everybody's hood and whatnot, and showing that whole unity with different sides and stuff, with different rival gangs and whatnot. You know, that was, you know, kind of their thing. Nipsey and his crew are like the poster crew for what dedication plus hard work plus patience truly is. They exemplify grit, determination, grind, hard work, perseverance, and vision.
That story just to let you know, like, you know, it was a higher purpose, I believe, for what we're doing over here. It wasn't to get in trouble with the police. It wasn't to be a menace to the area. It wasn't to, you know, continue a tradition of self-destruction. It was to build. And so all the obstacles and everything we went through for being misjudged and misunderstood, you know, it didn't stop us. You know, it wasn't a brick wall. It was a speed bump. You know, and I embrace it as you know, the resistance, the gravity of trying to do something great. You know?
So I'm never taking that shit away. They went from selling socks and t-shirts on the corner, dime bag socks and t-shirts on the corner of Slauson and Crenshaw, to buying the actual buildings and, you know, building the beginnings of what can still be a great empire. He was what a lot of us consider to be the hood nigga or the street dude or the thug or whatever. But he was also able to save, change, and transform so many of the lives around him. He put so many of the people in his hood on, and he was able to create a sense of community and unity. You know? And you know who else was able to do that? Detroit Red. I want somebody who see this in the comments to tell me who Detroit Red is. Go on and do it. And if you don't know who Detroit Red is, Google the name. Not saying that Nip was our Malcolm, but Malcolm X, and more modern today, not as wide known, but should be, Kalyd has always been my favorite examples of the potential of our hood niggas, okay? And that's more so the direction that I wanted to take this week's video. Like, we can and we oftentimes do talk about what's wrong with our hoods and what's wrong with our young people today in the hoods and this, that, and the third. But I want to focus on the solutions and to also put a little respect on a hood nigga's rep a little bit, okay? I know, because I've been in different settings, you know. I've been in more wealthy areas where, you know, you meet your typical, you know, middle class or upper middle class Negro. I've been in a university setting where you meet your black excellence, your collegiate Negro, your educated lanes, your brothers with degrees and whatnot. And of course, I've been all up and through and around the hood as well. And I will say that some of the most respectable men I know did not go to university with me. In fact, most of the punk bitches I know went to university with me, and the real niggas who's the real brothers who's really like about some shit, who, you know, I'll feel comfortable calling if I need to get some, if I need to put in some work or get some shit done, or I need, you know, protection or backup or whatever the case. I don't find those in the typical idea of a good black man space and place. I find those with my brothers from the streets. Okay, when I was a kid, a preteen, from a kid to a preteen back in Compton, because, you know, I was born in Long Beach, moved to Compton when I was like 7, 8. I lived in the Grandies, and for those of y'all that don't know, the Grandies is like the heart of Nutty Block. It was right across the street from the Compton Airport. It's Nutty Block, Compton Crib. Like their meeting garage was the apartment that was facing my apartment. And if you know how the Grandies is shaped, it's like I was in a little cul-de-sac area. But anyways, as the summertime came and it went, like shit tended to, you know, get a little intense, especially in the summertime. And it was literally like the best of times and the worst of times. Like I loved Compton summers, but there was also a lot of pain and things in those summers that you don't realize was as, you know, traumatic or tragic or intense as it was as a kid, because you were a kid and you was just living life. You don't realize that until later. But, you know, there were summers that we lost some really young friends to stray bullets, but we also had super lit ass house parties. My first house party, I was 8 years old. It was James's birthday, and whoo, when I say we got it in, baby, let me stop. Y'all know I love to dance. But the local drug dealer would literally like bring Christmas in July. It was Tony or Trick love the kids, Tony love the kids, one of them. He would literally just go and bring like every Toys R Us, whatever the case, you know, just buy up everything and just come and just give back, you know. And I know the irony, but this, I'm just giving you guys a little context, okay? But between me leaving food for the homeless man at the abandoned building in the beginning of our, or the entrance of our complex, to us making like our first YouTube videos at the Compton Airport, there was a lot of significant and honorable things that I noticed growing up in the heart of a hood. One, the gang members tend to like genuinely have a love for their people and their community. Two, they just always looked out. You know, they always looked out for the little homie. They always looked out for the kids in the hood. You know, they just always looked out, and they did try to give back in their own nigga ways. For example, like the ice cream man ended up stopped coming to our neighborhood because of the fact that like they kept getting robbed. Like, you know, the ones who were like drug dealers weren't really gangbangers, and they would come every once in a while and like literally pay for everything on the ice cream truck and just give everybody in the neighborhood what they wanted. But then when they weren't around and whatnot, Nutty Block typically would go in shall I say, finesse reparations from said ice cream trucks. There was never a black owned and operated ice cream truck, I will say that much. So ain't no water off my back. And they would, you know, go in and basically make sure every kid got everything they wanted in the ice cream trucks. They just ended up stopped coming around because, you know, yeah, I get it, but whatever. But the point is, that was their way of trying to like give back, you know. They weren't scared of the police. More than a few times we had riots in our cul-de-sac with the police, and the police and their cars would leave fucked up. In fact, by the time it was all said and done, I remember after this one riot, my mom's boyfriend at the time, he ended up, I mean, the police's guns got taken, and my mom's boyfriend ended up with the baton. You know, the Billy Club, the one they want to beat us with, he ended up with that. So that's like the kind of stuff, that's the kind of like resilience, that's the kind of rebellious energy that I grew up around. And when they heard there was going to be a drive-by or some activity from a rival hood or whatever, they told everybody in the hood, they told all the parents, they told them to get the kids inside, they told the kids to be inside, etc., etc. Gave us about a time, and they would signal for us when they would let us know when it's safe to come out. So that was another way that they would look out. You know, they was out there doing their bullshit and whatnot, but they really did care about the people in their communities. And I lived in an apartment complex, so you know, it's like a small ass family. It's not a huge complex. Everybody knows everybody. All the kids play together. All the kids go to school together. I went to Caldwell Elementary School. My other sister went to Longfellow before she went to Caldwell Elementary School. It's closed now. But the point is, it was like real tight knit, you know. And after the shutdown was over, you know, it was back to Kool-Aid ices and trips to the candy house as usual. So what I told you guys, along with what Nipsey has proven to us, is that there is a use for our quote-unquote hood niggas, for hood communities. It's not just dead weight on the blue/white-collar Negroes' back. Okay? When shit hits the fan, it's typically not our black excellence, educated, lame, degree-holding, ball-bouncing, verse-dropping Negroes that are ready to fuck shit up. And though misguided, misdirected, and miseducated, there is a general militant structure and organization. And though the young thugs of today are not much like the ones that I grew up with and the ones before them, I still don't think it's too late for them. I've seen some of the most brilliant minds and solid hearts growing up where I did. Some of the most honorable brothers I know were bred in the streets of San Bernardino County and LA County. So for solutions, I think it's high time we stop this fronting on niggas, okay? And invest that same time and energy and effort many of us do into getting away from our hoods, getting away from our communities, and actually building it back into strong black communities like they used to be. Let's provide direction and vision and unity and organization to the young brothers and sisters in the streets. Let's reinstall a sense of pride and hustle and grit and determination and perseverance and honor, heart, and hard work. I'm going to call that Triple H. Honor, heart, and hard work. Well, Auntie Jai, how do we do that? Well, first things first, if you are a hood nigga and a male or female, and if you know, and or if you know any hood niggas, brothers and sisters out there, and I'm using the term nigga and hood nigga together so you know specifically what demographic of black people and the idea of black people that I'm talking about. I don't think of them holistically in a negative sense. I'm giving you guys context too so that you can understand who specifically it is that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just any type of black person. I'm talking about black people in a certain type of environment and setting. But first things first, get and read The Spook Who Sat by the Door by Sam Green-Lee. Okay? Again, The Spook Who Sat by the Door by Sam Green-Lee. I'm going to leave instructions to how you can get a hold of your copy, black owned and operated, in the description box. And while I'm here, I'm going to just shout out Shades of Africa in downtown Long Beach, 1001 East 4th Street, Long Beach, California. Okay? Miss Renee holding it down. It's a black owned and operated spot. And nearly every black book in there has a black author. All the black products have black authors. It's black everything in there, okay? So if you're ever in Long Beach, head on down to Shades of Africa and get you a copy of The Spook Who Sat by the Door by Sam Green-Lee, and go out of your way to tell Miss Renee that Auntie Jai sent you, okay? And also, if you're not in Southern California and you still want a copy of this book and you want to make sure that you get it from a black source where that black dollar is going to circulate around and round, round and round. Okay, I'll stop. I'm going to make sure that I leave the number to Shades of Africa in the description box as well, so that you can give Miss Renee a call, tell her Auntie Jai sent you, and that you want a copy of The Spook Who Sat by the Door by Sam Green-Lee, and she will make sure that she ships you a copy of that. And I think I paid like $25 for mine out of the store, but with shipping and handling it might be a little more. But this is a book, honestly, that every black person, especially every black man, but in particular every black military and hood person should read, okay? Anyone who's trying to, like, you know, be down with the movement, etc. Another thing, stop letting the church outdo our revolution. Oh my goodness. I grew up in the same hood I was just talking about. I grew up seeing Vacation Bible School roll through in literally a pimped out food truck like at least 3 days out the week. Every summer, all summer, to give us Bible lessons and snacks, okay? My grandmother ran a Bible study ministry that I used to help with and to teach every Wednesday we be going around the hood, Long Beach to Compton, to Inglewood, to LA, and we be picking up a bunch of hungry kids, and we be filling our tummies with Lunchables and our heads with nonsense, okay? There is no reason why us as quote-unquote black conscious people, as pro-black revolutionary people, are not putting in the same work, dedication, and energy and consistency into our hoods. We have to stop letting the church outdo us. Okay, so start small and direct. When my grandma started her ministry, it wasn't her and a whole team of people. They didn't have a whole bunch of grants. They had a vision and a plan. It was her cousin, and her homegirl, and they said, let's make it happen. So we can do that for a kids Bible study. Then a couple of us can get together and do that for pro-black revolutionary something education thing that we want to start up in our hoods. Okay, so start small and direct. Go into your own neighborhoods or your nearest black concentrations and a team of about 3 to 5, and matching t-shirts so people feel like you're a little more official. You know, we easy. You just come in with some matching t-shirts and, you know, some kind of a flyer, and we're going to take you seriously in these communities. Or in some shit, an engaging lesson plan for the day or the week or whatever, okay? Apartment complexes and popular parks are some of the best places, centralized places to do this, okay? When I was 16, I held a 6th grade girls program at my local elementary school, and when I run into my old students till this day, they're still positively affected by the things I instilled in them when I was 16, and they were like 6th grade, that's what, 11, 12 years old? Okay, so go into these places and just start building community gardens. Just do it. Just you and your little crew show up and then just start putting in work, okay? And bring some kids to help you if you can. Bring your kids, bring your nieces, your nephews, your little cousins or whoever as well. And when the other kids and adults in the area see you and start asking what you're doing, let them know you're here to feed the community. You're here to help. You're here to build, and just get to work and then see how many people join you, especially the kids. Especially the kids. Okay, once your reputation is established in that community as someone who's here to help and as a positive involvement and influence on that community, get more parents involved. You know, make sure you actually talk to the parents of the children that you're working with and keep in communication with them so that you can build that trust, and even see about getting more parents who have a little more free time to become team members. In the hood I grew up with, you know, a lot of the women were, I guess, ironically, stay-at-home moms. You know, some would go to work and then come back, or some would go out for a minute. But a lot of the, you know, we basically had the women, a couple of women who would just sit out on the porch and keep an eye on all the kids all day. Talk to those parents. Get them on your side. Get them involved in what you're doing. Get them to approve it, and watch how many more people they bring around, and watch how your reputation will strengthen within the community as well. Okay, and once you got a more of a strong foundation and connections to that community, then that's when you want to start presenting things like, hey, we want to take the kids on a day camping trip. We want to take the kids to learn survival skills. You know, we want to take the kids to the gun range. There's a black-owned and operated gun range in Compton. It just opened up like 2 years ago. I took my baby sister with me one time. Okay, and then that's, you know, establish that connection to the community, establish those relationships with those people in these areas, and then once you've built that trust and that connection, get these kids out and get them educated. Okay, the youth, I'm talking about all of them, not just the little bitty ones, but all the way up to, you know, I think I'm still considered a youth. I'm what, 24? I'm still kind of youth or whatever. But if we want to actually build communities, self-sustainability is going to be an important part of that. And having the ability to protect what we build that's extremely crucial and important. And our quote-unquote gangbangers, our you know, our thugs and whatnot, they're going to be the protection. So connecting with them and providing them a vision, you know, give the young people and the old people tools to teach them how to garden and use less energy, and educate the kids on who they are, build that self-confidence and esteem and self-worth, and be consistent and watch how things change. You know, and for all my hood niggas gone revolutionary, brother, go back and start training and raising up the young bloods, especially if you are respected in your hoods. Ain't no reason why you not running small militias already. So again, For all my hood niggas going revolutionary brother, go back and start training and raising up the young bloods. Use your influence, use your status, use your respect as leverage to go and start influencing the young ones coming up and giving them that guidance and direction that they're missing. Okay? All the brothers and sisters who are ex-military, read The Spook Who Sat by the Door by Sam Greenlee, then find a hood and get to work. Okay? Our main drive in the hood is survival. And ironically, a lot of the brothers that I know that are military are also hood niggas. Like, they were hood niggas who was like, man, I gotta figure out something, and they went military. So there ain't no reason for you to not to come back, bro. There ain't no reason for you not to be back here putting in this work. And I know some of these niggas you're gonna have to drag by their ear a little bit, but what you do is you gain the respect and the trust of the people that the other people look up to, and the rest will follow. You know, you find your local Nipsey Hussle kind of status in the hood, and you get them on, and then you'll get the rest of them on. Okay? Our main drive in the hood is survival. Food and shelter are priority concerns. If your hood is a neighborhood like mine was when we moved to Santana Block, you and all your people need to start growing food on your property. There's too much, you know, space in the neighborhoods where there's actually homes that is not being occupied by food that should be. Okay? Just start growing food on your property and showing your family and your community, your neighbors, and, you know, whoever else is around how to do the same. It is literally a part of my business services to help with these specific things. So if you need more information on how to get things popping in your hood, how I can help, hit me up on my business page at yourfavorite.auntiejais, and I'll see how I can work with you. Okay? You begin to grow the food that feeds your community's life. You certainly give them life, give them food. And the more money that's saved from buying death, the more money that the parents save from sending their kids to Louisiana Fried Chicken or Popeyes or McDonald's or whatever, the more money that's saved because you're bringing them fresh fruits and vegetables, it will be reinvested in ourselves. And then also, you grow the food, you give out the food, you show the kids how to prepare the food, you show the youth how to prepare the food, you get them to cook the food. Then of course, because everybody knows each other, everybody cares about each other, there's a sense of community here, they start cooking the food, then the community is going to start buying their food. When I lived back in the Grandies, Monique opened up her house, and she was literally slinging burgers out of her kitchen window. Burgers, chili cheese fries, nachos, you name it. You get your little combo out of your kitchen window. Once you started doing that, we weren't walking all the way to Louisiana Fried Chicken to get our meals anymore. We would get our little $5 each and go literally down the stairs and across the little lot to Monique's. Now imagine doing that in the hood near you, but instead of it being Monique slinging burgers and chili cheese fries and nachos, it's jackfruit sandwiches, it's carrot dogs, it's black bean burgers or super chongas or whatever. You know, just and you know, we're huge on easiness and convenience and affordability. So, you know, you begin to grow the food that feeds your community, and then the more money saved from buying the debt can be reinvested into ourselves. And when you help that single mother lower her grocery and electric bills, when you start introducing power saving things and solar energy, small solar energy generators and things like, I don't know, if all the kids are outside in the garden, they're not inside watching TV using up your electricity, keeping all your lights on, etc., etc. Keep the kids outside. That's gonna, you know, we're making huge impacts just with these little things. And then now she has extra money that she can invest in the community that's helping to feed her and her children, and you know, the brothers as well. Most of the young brothers are actually going to like kind of be out there in the streets anyway, but your average hood is full of hustlers just like mine are. You grow the food, you give the youth the tools, you teach the youth how to prepare it, then set them up in their own hoods with competitive prices to our enemies, and then we've got money circulation going on. Okay? When you get all of your food from the food that you grew, and then you're selling that food to your people, and then that money is coming back into you, and you're investing part of that into building more, into being able to grow more food and expand, and now you're actually making money, and you, as far as feeding yourself, you're growing your food, so that's, you know, you don't really have to worry as much about that. So now where can your money go? These same people who are showing you these skills on how to self-sustain yourself, might know somebody or might even be able to show you like, okay, this is how you start saving your money. This is how you make your money grow. This is how you get a plot of land. This is how you grow this operation, etc., etc. Okay? And that's how you get from a hood to a community. Okay? You grow the food, give the youth the tools they need to teach them how to prepare it, set them up in their own hoods with competitive prices to their enemies, and then we get the money circulation. Then we're feeding and financing ourselves, building that way to buy black the block, not just buy back the block, buy black the block. And you see, we're starting here when it comes to food, because everybody got to eat. We're starting from the core foundation, which is supplying the food, because people sell food all the time, but they have to buy the food that they're making from. You guys, look at these. Yum, yum, yum. Look at, they smell lovely. Let's set these to cool. Sorry. So, you know, we end up buying black the block. When you start from the basis of production, which would be growing the food in the first place, then you don't have to outsource your major things that you need to sustain yourself from your enemies, thus making sure your enemies are financially prosperous, and then you might get a piece of that. No, all profit in, like Nipsey Hussle, one of his little brands, all money in. That's how you do that. You start, it's all money in when you are the producer, the manufacturer, for sure, the seller, and the customer. That's how you keep all money in. Okay? So you give a vision, a plan, stability, inspiration, food, and opportunity for money making to your average hood nigga, and you got yourself a businessman and a soldier. Should have thrown training in there as well. You got yourself a businessman and a soldier. We've got everything we need within our communities. Reevaluating our morals and values, becoming self-sustainable, building capital, investing in land and each other, which I think eventually we should all have a great migration back south, but that's another conversation for another time. These are the real and tangible solutions that can save the future of our people. Okay? This summer, be proactive in your schools. Dedicate concentrated and consistent efforts into our black brothers and sisters in the hood. Bring with you a sense of pride and purpose and responsibility that comes with knowledge of self, and love of our people. And bring the applications of that knowledge and love with tangible skills that will yield results. Okay? Follow Nipsey's examples and don't count out our hood niggas. Don't. Give them something worth standing for. Be that local hero that the youth can look up to and respect versus the chosen celebrities that fill us with false hopes and promises and bullshit. Okay? So, on that note, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video and all my other videos. If you haven't already, go watch the rest of the series. If you would like to donate to help me get my life so that I can help us get our lives, and also just to support me in the work that I do here on this channel. Like I said, it's a lot of time, energy, effort, and coin. Please feel free to PayPal me, Venmo me, or Cash App me. The information for that is also in the description box. And also in the description box, I'm going to include some links to some black farmers and stuff, some black farmers out there who have YouTube channels, some urban community gardens that have been started and stuff. I'm going to make sure I put all that in there as well. Don't forget to follow my Instagram pages, my business page, yofavorite.auntiejais, and my personal page at Jylin1. And on that note, as usual, black love, black pride, black power. You have to know yourself, to love your people. Accountability, self-determination, and self-preservation is everything. I love y'all. Peace.
Long-winded, running through this life like it was mine. Never settling, but setting every goal high. 1,000 burpees on the path to my own destruction or success. But what is a mistake without the lesson? See, the best teacher in life is your own experience. None of us know who we are until we fail. They say every man is defined by his reaction to any given situation. Well, who would you want to define you? Someone else or yourself? Whatever you do, homie, give your heart to it. and stay strong.
Yo, listen.